Today's conversation is too deep, because I'm trying to explain the basic things that we need to do to return back what is lost mostly into our country, Kenya. We don't have blame on leadership. We can also come together, try a way that we can do to reduce. Okay, so from 1963 up to 2018, that's mathematically roughly 55 years ago, almost 60. So my main question goes to everyone who's going to take this opportunity to view the above video onto my YouTube channel is, what basic change has been implemented onto our leaders, comparing the kind of mode of lifestyle that you used to live back then. Though unfortunately I can't lie, or I can't hide it out, I wasn't available, nor was I even recognized that I'll ever be in this planet Earth. But according to how history keeps on recurring itself, back then, from 55 years ago and the current 55 years now, is way too different kind of life that we are living personally. Not even to mention how the kind of leadership is taking place personally. I'm trying to become personal because back then, 55 years ago, life was too cool. We used to live in a very social life. Our security standard was so nice. Okay, so nice because there was no smuggling, there was no thieves around. We were all like living in a brotherly and sisterly way of life. But now, look at these. We youths, our fellow youths, go ahead and smuggle out people in return of income, in return of restoring back their lifestyle. Whom do you have to blame? Is it our own parents, or is it the current lifestyle that we desire for ourselves? But unfortunately, it's not that we never attained education, but there are no jobs around. We don't need, we could say that we need white collar jobs, but the same juakali kind of life job, it's not that well. They go ahead, we go ahead day and night, struggling to attain the same kind of juakali life of job hustle, but in return, it's so demoralizing. It demoralizes us in whichever way, in our strength, in our potentials. It cuts us down. So what I'm trying to explain is that back then, we used to have a very nice kind of lifestyle. Used to have love, used to have peace, used to have security. The corruption thing that's going around into our country, Kenya, currently was no more. So should we blame the current leadership, or should we blame the leadership that began to upgrade or generate before our folks, the late Jaramogi Oginga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Dedan Kimathi, Tomboya? The moment those guys departed, the example of people like Kibaki, Moi, Saitoti, this kind of leadership was just so firm in whichever opinion that they make on kind of leadership that they desire, mostly onto our country, Kenya. It's not that they were authoritative, but they had a principled kind of commanding of change towards our country, Kenya. I'm not trying to blame Uhuru Kenyatta, but I think he should go ahead and look onto the other kind of leaders with whom he appointed them to work on his behalf, because some of them, surely, they're really taking us down. For instance, the current case that is taking place, a young youth life was taken away. We don't know who exactly took part in the action, but according to the investigation that is taking place, high supreme power is taking into this current situation. But since a common citizen has no right to speak out, money will be handed off, and all this case, what will happen, will be shut down, and Sharon Otieno's case will be forgotten. The cries of her mother, the cries of that innocent child that was taken away. I'm crying out not only for Sharon's life, I'm crying out for that innocent baby. I'm also a mother, a young mother. So I'm crying out for that innocent child who's involved in a case that he or she never knew what exactly took place. Such situations are things to explain, or you can't say what's exactly taking place into our country, Kenya. Okay? So, leaders, if of you being our eyes onto that supreme seat, can you please work on it? Anything about income, money, or anything called corruption, be a justice and fair leader. We need change. We really need change. Because our country, Kenya, our children, if you keep on doing this, I believe 2030 will be a focus. It's not that we can't do it, but the kind of leadership that's it's going to cut off our mission of making a change mostly onto our country, Kenya, before 2030. Let's make history as the past kind of leadership made a historical kind of leadership that we, even those who weren't speak it out. I wasn't there 55 years ago. I'm just a style lady, youth, who can boldly speak up and demand to restore back our country, Kenya. They're tired. They're tired to hear scandals, mostly from our leaders. Did he appoint them to get into that office, into that seat, so as their scandals now can reveal themselves out? No. We appointed you and he gave you that power so as you can make a change onto our country, Kenya. Not you making a change onto your own pockets. No. We don't need that. We need change. And if you don't get that, I think it's high time we, the citizens, without your power, because you are a free world, you are a free nation, a nation that everyone has the power to speak. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression is mandatory, mostly into each and every country, to be precisely our country, Kenya, because it takes a time that things happen. We try to speak out, but no one hears us. We try to demonstrate whichever way, but our cries are on in vain. Whom do we blame? Our leaders? Each and every time I try to sit and watch the news, I don't know. Country Kenya, where are you? Whichever location that you've gone, can you please come back? We need it back on track, because we don't have any beat in our hearts in this country. We're lost. We're totally lost. I guess I should say it's the end time of our country, Kenya. Only God can take control now, because we gave our leaders that power to do that, but they're training. They're letting us down. They're making us regret for why we gave them that kind of power to rule us 55 years ago. That's TBT. The things that used to take place back then are so hilarious. I just wish we could get them now. I wish my children could have them. The Vision 2030, I just hope that it comes to take place. I hope so too. Please watch this video and let's implement change. We need change. 4 years ain't far. Before you resign off before your comes to an end. May you be amongst the leaders, a father who left a legacy of bringing freedom onto our country, Kenya. May you leave a slogan that our children's children will keep on speaking about. Whichever the great thing that you're planning to do in our country, Kenya, do it with wholehearted. Please, 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 please. We need our country, Kenya, back. Security-wise, justice, corruption, health, education, food, please.